Good evening, high school football fans. This is the High School Football America radio show for June 15th, 2017. I'm Jeff Fisher, host of the show and founder and editor-in-chief of highschoolfootballamerica.com. We are working feverishly over the next 30 days to release the High School Football America Top 100, and that's going to be the focus of tonight's show. Here at the top, we're going to talk about some of the teams that we're looking at right now for the Top 100. We made the official announcement this week via our news release. Of course, we let everybody on the radio show here know it several weeks ago, and we are just very, very excited to expand from our top 50 that we've been doing with our proprietary algorithm to a top 100 this year. We're also going to expand the regional rankings from the top 10 in our 7 regions to a top 20. We, of course, will also be doing our state-by-state rankings, and with the release of the news this week that we will be doing a top 100, we went back into 2016 and show you state-by-state the number 1 teams from last year. Feel free to go to highschoolfootballamerica.com to check out every one of the top teams from 2016. Before we dive into a sneak peek of some of the teams that we're looking at for the 2017 preseason top 100. Time to bring on all of our partners here at High School Football America that make it possible each and every week. Every one of these partners have been with us for a while. We're big supporters of them as they are of us, beginning with Crossover. Get your game film broken down really, really well. My buddy Jason Strunk, the head coach at Lubbock, who will be writing once again this year the turnaround blog for High School Football America, says that when he's used them, it's like 99.9% accuracy on what they send back to you very quickly. We've done micro clinics in Texas. Pat Blizniak is the representative there in Texas. And you know what Texas does, the rest of the country follows. Been getting great reviews there. A lot of teams picking up the Crossover product. They will break down your game film and then spit it back to you in really interactive terms. The insights are awesome. If you're looking for what your opponent does on, 3rd and long from the right hash, what they do in the red zone, it's all there for you. It's interactive. It's easy to use. There's not a lot of training needed. It gives you the competitive edge that you need. Allows you to do what you need to do on Saturday, which is get right into the game film breakdown, not sitting there having your staff, inputting this information, which takes a lot of time, and that's also time is money, of course. So get that competitive edge with Crossover. And speaking of a competitive edge, Echo gives it to you right on the sidelines. Echo 1612, the creators of instant replay on the sidelines in high school football, created by Chad Cargola, an Oklahoma high school football coach who wanted to give his team an edge, and now it is a great product that everybody across the country is using, including college football. I really believe that the show and tell aspect of Echo is very critical. The kid says, "Now, I didn't miss that block, Coach." Well, it's right there. You can look at everything. Make tomorrow's adjustments today. Echo1612.com. You can get to all of our partners by going to highschoolfootballamerica.com and clicking on their banner ads. If you go to Crossover's banner ad, you'll get a free 5-minute demo. You can sign up right on that page there, and you will get a real good inside look. They can do it remotely. They'll show you exactly what Crossover can do for you, except no imitators. There are imitators out there for all of our partners, but Echo and Crossover are the originators of their technology. Also brought to you tonight by USA Today High School Sports. Once again in 2017, High School Football America and USA Today High School Sports teaming up to give you great national and local coverage specifically from Southern California. Check them out at usatodayhss.com. Also brought to you by the fine folks at Southern Sport. They keep those pesky rubber pellets from field turf out of your shoes with the debris inhibitor razor, also known as the TDI razor. Over 20 great colors. Get your logos on there. It also gives the kids that great look of spatting without the high cost of tape. Very, very reasonable, just $19.99 for the product. It lasts all season long. It's not just for turf. You can use it as well on natural grass. It's a machine washable, U.S. made. That's right, made in America. Check them out at tdirazor.com. That's razor with a U, TDIRAZUR.com. Use the special code when you order HSFA for a discount on your order. And brought to you tonight by ScoreStream. And once the season starts, ScoreStream, a critical part of highschoolfootballamerica.com, as they provide live scores throughout the nation on our state-by-state scoreboards and our top 100 scoreboard that we're going to have this year. They do an awesome job. If you download the app at Google Play or the iTunes Store, you can post videos and photos from your favorite team's game. Let the people around the country know exactly how your favorite team is doing on Friday nights or on in the sunshine of Saturdays if they play on Saturday. And, of course, nowadays we've got Thursday night games. But download them. You can learn more by going to ScoreStream.com. Well, as I said right at the top, High School Football America proud to keep expanding its national rankings. We started doing our rankings in 2012. It was an opinion poll like everybody else's, but in 2013 we switched it over to an algorithm, a proprietary algorithm that we've created. We tweak it each and every year. We make it bigger and better, and we're just excited this year to go from the top 50 that we've been using over the last 2 years to a top 100. And the great news is, all you fans out there waiting for the start of the season, we're going to be releasing the preseason top 100 sometime in the middle of June. We'll make the exact date announcement at the we're going to be doing it in the middle of July, but at the end of June, at the end of this month, we will make the announcement on the exact day, as we are inputting tons of information from around the country to come up with our top 100. Again, the regional rankings that we do in 7 different regions will also increase from 10 to 20. Some of our state rankings will also increase. We've always done a California top 25 out here. We're expecting to expand our poll like we used to do a top 10 in Florida, in Texas, Ohio. We may be taking some of those bigger states and expanding to a top 20 or a top 25. We'll make that announcement a little bit later, but we're just excited to be at this point in time, and we thought no better way tonight on the show to get you excited about it is one of the big states, one that had 7 teams in the top 50 last year, Florida. They had 7 teams in our top 50, and we're going to have Josh Wilson come on here in just a little bit to talk about what happened in spring ball in Florida and take a look ahead to what the Sunshine State looks like for 2017. And you'll hear Josh and I talk about the usual suspects there in the Sunshine State. One of the games that I'm really looking forward to at the start of the season will feature St. Thomas Aquinas, a top 10 team last year in the High School Football America top 50, taking on St. John Bosco from here in Southern California. That game will be played in Florida. Head coach Jason Negro, who will be on the show before the start of the season, loves to take his team back east. He likes the challenges of those long road trips and playing a good quality opponent. That one will set the tone for both of those teams at the start of the year. That game will also be shown on ESPN, part of its kickoff classic. We don't have all of the matchups. We did mention yesterday on highschoolfootballamerica.com that the big game to kind of kick everything off on Saturday will come out of Oklahoma, where Broken Arrow will host Union number 40 last year in the High School Football America top 50, taking on Broken Arrow. So we're probably going to get the announcement on all of the games on ESPN's Kickoff Classic. Last year they had 10 games over 3 days. We probably will get that announcement coming up right around the 1st of July. Some of the other teams that we're looking at that I expect some real big things out of really the 2 areas that year in and year out have, the best leagues in the country, specifically New Jersey and here in Southern California. Aside from St. John Bosco, which was number 1 in the preseason poll last year, ended up number 2 overall after winning the Open Division Championship. You've got St. John Bosco, Mater Dei, and Corona Centennial. All 3 of those teams legitimate top 10 teams at the start, possibly. Corona Centennial, a big matchup with IMG Academy out of Florida, which, by the way, IMG this year will have its national schedule, and they've split the program into their national team and their it's kind of a varsity team that's playing against Florida competition, but neither team eligible for the Florida playoffs. You've got Mater Dei stacked up against Bishop Gorman, which will be a real good early test for both of those teams. Bishop Gorman, the defending 2016 High School Football America mythical national champs. The one that I'm looking forward to, because I was saying you've got Southern California and New Jersey, is the matchup between Mater Dei and Bergen Catholic out of New Jersey. I see Bergen Catholic doing some big things this year. St. Joseph's Regional out of Montvale, I can see them being in the top 20. They've got some good returners there. St. Peter's Prep, look for big things from them. Don Bosco, it's going to be interesting to see what happens now that Greg Toll has stepped away. Some controversy around his leaving earlier this year, but I could see those four teams being very good. Some of the conversations that I've had with the coaches back in New Jersey, is someone like a DePaul is going to be very, very good too. But I'm circling that date for Mater Dei and Bergen Catholic. Nunzio Campanile and I chatted, I guess about a month ago, and he is so looking forward to coming out here to Southern California to take on a program like Mater Dei, which returns 10 of 11 starters, including super sophomore, now turned junior this year, JT Daniels, who has 100 touchdown passes in just 2 years of varsity, and he's got 2 more years to go. So look for that there. Looking at some other teams aside from Southern California and northern New Jersey there. Looking for big things out of Allen in Texas. Also looking for some, steel, Cibolo Steel down in Texas. Highland Park. And let's not leave out DeSoto now that Todd Peterman is all set and ready to go with his contract. Hard to believe that DeSoto was actually looking at letting Coach Peterman go after winning the school's first ever championship last year. That should be interesting. Some other interesting teams out there. St. John's out of Washington, D.C., a top 50 team last year, battling mano-a-mano with DeMatha. They've got a meat grinder of a schedule, but if they can get through that, they'll put themselves in the national championship hunt. You've also got DeMatha. They lost stuff, but they reload a lot. So interesting to see what they do. St. Francis out of Maryland will be a team to watch. I like South Point out of South Carolina. They were a top 25 team last year. Brentwood Academy out of Tennessee. East out of Utah continues to put its a better and better schedule out there. Georgia, you've got Grayson. Cartersville plays at a lower level, not sure. Harrison with a 5-star quarterback pulling the offensive reins there. They should be interesting. I would say, take a look at Hoover in Alabama. Always plays a good out-of-state schedule. They could be tough. Chandler in Arizona. Mountain Point in Arizona. Saguaro also from out here in Arizona. Look for them to do some big things. In the center part of the country, Carmel High School, the defending 6A champs in Indiana, Center Grove, look for Ben Davis, Warren Central. Those guys just beat up on each other throughout their the league portion of their schedule. You can see them being somewhere high up when we start talking about the preseason top 100 that will come out in mid-July. John Curtis out of Louisiana. I see some things coming out of John Curtis this year that could put them right in the mix. Oklahoma, of course, you've got Jenks and Union. You can always count on them being in there. I didn't mention Katy out of Texas, but hey, don't ever count the Tigers out of anything. They just reload. Loyola Academy out of Illinois, a team that we're looking at. Colquitt County out of Georgia, our 2015 national champs. Could see them being in the hunt. But anyway, those are some of the teams that we're looking at. We're going to have a top 100. What we like about that is we're also going to get some teams probably from states that don't normally crack into the top 50. So it's a great way to promote more and more schools across the country. All right, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk Florida football. And like I said, 7 teams last year in the national top 50. Expect some of the same characters back into the hunt for the preseason top 100, plus some more. We're going to talk with Josh Wilson when we come back. Josh, the founder of FloridaHSFootball.com, talking Sunshine State football when we come back. You're listening to High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass-playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossoverwithak.com/football. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by USA Today High School Sports. Once again in 2017, High School Football America and USA Today High School Sports teaming up to give you great national high school football coverage and coverage specifically from Southern California. Check them out at usatodayhss.com. And speaking of partners with USA Today High School Sports, FloridaHSFootball.com. Our good friend Josh Wilson is on the line. He's partnered with them as well, and we thought it'd be a good time here. Spring ball ball is over, and he's had a chance to look at that. We're getting ready to release that top 100 coming up here in July, and no better way to get the Sunshine State in perspective than by bringing Josh on to talk about it. Welcome to the show, Josh.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I know it's been a while, but hey, it's always good to get a chance to come on and talk a little bit about what's going on here in the Sunshine State, which is actually I would call it the rain state right this second because we're getting inundated by rain.
Well, we're in June gloom out here in southern. Yeah, well, you need it. We got it all over the wintertime, and June gloom means we don't have a whole lot of sunshine, so that's why we're calling it a Sunshine State. As we've been mentioning over the last several weeks, High School Football America's algorithm growing to a top 100 this year. And just before we get into the questions, to remind the people, last year, 7 Florida teams in our top 50. IMG at the top of the stack, number 3. Number 6 was St. Thomas Aquinas. American Heritage Plantation was 13. Cocoa 26. Carroll City 36. Trinity Christian Academy 47 out of Jacksonville, and 49 was Miami Northwestern. And I know when we've done this over the last several years, it's always been the same usual suspects, but now that spring ball has gone by the wayside, what are you seeing down there right now? Do we have any newcomers to the party here this year?
I think it's not so much newcomers. I think it's more of watch what goes on in the first year of the changes to the FHA playoff format, because that's going to be telling to what happens. Because if you start looking at some of the schedules, we'll go with St. Thomas Aquinas here because they're always the usual suspect. But if you look at their schedule, they've got the St. John Bosco that open up week 1. That is a pretty tough game right there. Defending national champion, that right there with St. John Bosco with Aquinas. The question is, some people have, the water cooler talk down here is, could that hurt St. Thomas Aquinas when it comes to terms of getting in position, because they're favored to win their district again. I'll tell you that right now, Jeff. That's not the issue with their district, with the changes that have been made. The question is where they're going to see that, because it's no longer, oh, you're district champion, you're playing the runner-up for your next-door neighbor district. It's not going to be that case anymore. What is the St. Thomas Aquinas going to get if they lose? They drop both of their national games, which some people think they might be a good chance they may go 1 or 2 or maybe drop both of those. If they do, the problem is now what happens when it comes to the end of the total, when we tally the points up at the end of the season to see where they're going to see that, because the district champion will be guaranteed a 1 through 4 spot within their region. So if it's enough to drop St. Thomas Aquinas to a 2 or 3 seed, they might be up for a little bit more of a challenge come the playoffs, and that could be depending on who they face up against. So, and another question that really was St. Thomas Aquinas is who's going to quarterback. I think that question is kind of more of it's still out there, because St. Thomas Aquinas doesn't play a spring football game traditionally against another opponent. They just do the blue and gold game, and that's about it. That's the kind of thing. So they kind of keep things a little bit more lower keyed there at Aquinas. But, the question is who's going to come in and step in for Jake Allen. It's a big question mark, and I don't think we're going to get an answer until we get into preseason week 1.
And, one of the things that you should tell the listeners around the country here, obviously Florida people know this, but the spring games there actually mean something. This isn't just, in some cases it could turn out to be that way, but these are full-fledged games. Explain that to the listeners around the country, how you guys approach your spring games.
Well, they're full-fledged games for the most part. The coaches do get a little bit more flexibility in terms of the rules. Like, okay, they might do kickoffs, but you can't return the ball if they may decide to do that, or they it'll be opponent versus opponent, and then some teams will get together and sometimes 3 teams, 4 teams, and we had 1 5-team jamboree where they'll play quarters or halves and get basically for these teams, it's getting experience. It's getting out on the field and kind of seeing what you've got to go into the fall. And I think, when it comes to when you talk about with states that, have high quality football in the high school arena kind of things, Florida stands out because, hey, we don't have to worry about snow during the winter time. They can get out there and do their thing. They can even do 7-on-7 practices as long as they're, signed up with a third-party affiliate, that's recognized by the Florida High School Athletic Association. There's many different things with that. So the the student athletes here, they've got so much to take advantage of. The coaches take advantage of it. It's, and in spring football, just kind of, it basically spring, the way the FHA defines spring football, it's a continuation of the fall. Well, we all look at it at the media perspective and everybody else, it's the starting of your next season.
Yeah.
So, because the way we look at it, and it's really, it's an amazing thing because it gives the teams the ability to, just see what they've got, what they need to work on, and, just go ahead and look at towards the fall and get ready for the summer and look towards the fall and, get ready for that schedule because, for a lot of teams this year, their schedules have changed. They've had to schedule around this new playoff system. They're not just, we're going to take it easy and we're going to play who we know we can beat. It's sometimes you got to play the unknown. You've got to play that tough team that you've been afraid for years to play and get them on the schedule because that might be a difference between, are you going to the playoffs or what seed you're going to get in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the big question right there.
Makes sense. Josh Wilson on the line, FloridaHSFootball.com, a great website. Everything you need to know about Florida high school football. He has grown this thing. It was your baby, so to speak, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger for you guys, and we congratulate you on that. Doesn't it feel like a baby?
It's been a work in progress. I'll tell you that. It's not been easy. If anyone tells you to start a website and actually being able to do what you do, it's not the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah,
don't let them fool you.
No, you do a great job with that. And I would assume at this point you've touched on the playoffs and the change and all that. I would assume that everybody's happy with this, except for, like you said, no more cupcakes on the schedule. But what's the general consensus? And I guess you can take it from a standpoint of media to the teams and coaches right down to the fans. But I would think for the most part it should be pretty positive, isn't it?
Well, it depends on who you ask. It depends. There's a lot of media that they like it because we were tired. We were getting kind of sick of we would have a 9-1 team playing a 1-9 team that backdoored themselves into the playoffs because of the size of their district. We've had this in. Up 2 years ago, we had a district near where I'm at, and the one team was 7-3, 8-2 that won the district, but the runner-up was 1-9, and then when they had to go play, and we all knew that that first round game was going to be a blowout, and it was like who wants to go watch a game that knowing that game is a potential it's going to be a 60-0 runaway? And for majority of fans, no, they're going to wait until that second round. Now at this particular point, now you have a situation where in a situation where a district can actually get 3 or 4 teams into the playoffs now. So if a district is really good with several teams, and they'll be going to that now, I want to explain that not our lowest classifications, they eliminated the districts entirely. So they're going by total straight points, as to determine who the playoff seeds are going to be 1 through 4 in the smaller classes for each region. So it's really for all the teams that are, that are in the state series, the scheduling matters now. Every game matters now. It's not just win your district games and you're in the playoffs. Now it's weeks 1 through 11. That's what matters. Now week 11 game that used to not matter, it matters now. You lose that game and you're on the edge. Well, that might not be good news for you. So that's the way it is. But the consensus, the fans are still having a little bit of a hard time gripping it, but because you got to deal with numbers here. But for the coach, a lot of coaches are all right with it. Some are still not happy with it. They felt like they felt like it was. Some of them are still in the mentality of, you're winning, you're in. Well, a lot of people are like, a lot of the media is like, it's tired. We're kind of like, we're tired of the win, you're in situation. It's let's put something that makes sense that's actually going to give us better games to watch every round of the playoffs, not just, we have to wait until the regional finals, three rounds in before we actually get a good game.
Yeah, well, we changed it out here in California last year, and the competitive equity has made for much better games, as you're talking about. Josh Wilson on the line, FloridaHSFootball.com. And again, I know it's early June and it may be a little too soon, but because you guys did have spring ball, I'd like to always kind of go through some of the teams here and get your feel on it. We mentioned the usual suspects, but let's start up there at 8A. And as we've said in the past, it's because of Aquinas and some of the schools been beneath that, the Miami Centrals, the American Heritages, and all that. Sometimes they get overlooked at the top, but you gotta pick there in top A at this point in the season, or in the year, I should say, not the season. We're not there yet.
The question with 8A is usually a wide open classification, and that's because St. Thomas Aquinas is a 7A school, so they're in the second highest classification. That right there, a lot of people would think, maybe Miami Southridge would have a chance to repeat, and I really do think they've got a chance to repeat. It's a matter of again, I have seen that classification go through being competitive. It's 1 year it might be a South Dade or a Miami Southbridge or a Flanagan or a Columbus coming out of the South, and in the north part of 8A, it's the same thing. So, and again, it's there's a lot of different teams. Usually, I would throw Manatee in this situation, but some people are thinking Manatee right now. They've had just hired a new head coach. They've had a coaching change again. That might be a situation where we're not talking about a school like Manatee where we were a few years ago. But it's again, 8A is a wide open classification. I might have to, I would take Southridge early on, but until looking a little bit more deeper, seeing what's really beneath the icing, so to speak. That might be a little bit 8A might be a little bit hard pressed to find a exact a more definite answer, but. We mentioned St. Thomas Aquinas 7A. A lot of people feel like they should be able to run the table again. The question is will the early games against that nationally ranked opponents? That's the question. Will it help them or will it hurt them? That's going to be the big question, especially since we don't. Yeah, it's still to say don't know exactly. Again, the quarterback situation, what's going to happen, because there's some questions. Some people are questioning. Okay, what is Aquinas going to do about the quarterback situation? Because filling shoes of Jake Allen, who is now at the University of Florida. Those are some big shoes to fill. So, that's the thing. And then again, go to 6A, Miami Central, who didn't even make the playoffs last year, I should say.
Yeah,
a lot of people were wondering. Okay, remember that Miami Central did not make the playoffs last year. That's been shockwaves to the system. I think though. Was 6A, I think it's kind of more wide open. I don't think you're going to see Carroll City back in it again. I think because Carroll City, Aubrey Hill, he left, got back in the college coaching. They basically had a complete staff turnover at Carroll City for the most part. So, the question is what is Benedict Hopperwhite going to be able to do there as a new head coach? Because he come from over at Hallandale, and that for Carroll City is the question is can they be able to keep the continuity and be able to build upon what they did last year? That's a big question mark. So 6A, I think 6A, right now if you're looking at classifications that you're talking about wide open, I really think again goes back to the whole playoff format change. The whole thing really has made things a little bit more wide open because you're not in the same. Okay, well this is the same scenario of the teams are we know who's going to think because. We don't know how the playoff bracket's going to look at the end come after week 11. So that's going to be the big question now. Yeah. And I go to 5. If you want me to go to 5A,
I got a question
totally
for you.
Wide open.
Yeah, I'm going to get to 5A, but Armwood stands out to me. I've been reading a lot about the talent they have back, and with Sean Callahan stepping down. What do you think about Armwood?
Yeah, Armwood could be back in the mix. It just depends on what Again, I would say, looking at the playoff bracket as to who they get in the first few rounds. But Armwood might be the best out of Region 2 in 6A, and that might help them out. But again, it's a matter of who's got what in Region 1, and just who will they potentially could face in a state semifinal. I would like to say Armwood's chances of getting back to state would be a pretty good, they got a pretty good shot. It's a matter of, going through their schedule because they're going to be playing some teams that have been playoff teams the last couple of years on their schedule, and they'll have Flanagan on their schedule, who's a 7A school, who might, they made the state championship game in 7A last year against the St. Thomas Aquinas. And, that's always a game down there in Tampa every year, Armwood and Plant. And that right there, those, they both could, I cannot say that I would say true hatred for each other. That's really
it's a rivalry. It's a good rivalry.
The rivalry. It's the rivalry, and this is what's fun about high school football. It's the rivalries. It's the fans getting out there, and Armwood and Plant, and when that game will be a determination of, okay, how far can this Armwood team go? Because if Armwood beats Plant, we know, hey, there's a good chance they're going to be making it to state.
Yeah.
And that's usually a good indicator for us. And that will, I believe we'll get that actually kind of early in the season. So we'll kind of get an indicator then. So hopefully we'll see what's going on between both of those programs. But I mean, I think the one change, because we mentioned Trinity Christian, they're actually going up from Class 3A to 5A. They actually requested that change to go into a higher class because they wanted a district, because the districts got eliminated in the lowest 4 classes. Trinity Christian, some people are like, well, okay. I mean, they have a chance to be the first school in the state to win 5 straight state championships. And, the question is now they got to do it from a classification that might be a little bit tougher depending because you've got Plantation American Heritage sitting there. You've got Bowles who's joining them in this classification now. So, and, Bowles has had a head coaching change. Corky Rogers calling it quits after 45 years of head coaching. I mean, a lot of people are like, what's going to happen here? Well, it's wide open to me. It's wide open. I mean, I like to think that Trinity Christian's got a real good shot at it, but again, Got to run the gauntlet.
and it's a tough one. Josh Wilson on the line, FloridaHSFootball.com. You need to check him out even before the season. And before we let you go, I know you got a big preview coming up, but let's finish the work here as you drop down to 4A. Coco's still in 4, right? And I'm hearing a lot
Coco's still.
I'm hearing a lot of good things.
4, and you're right. Coco's got a lot of talent. We got some more transfers in again this year. Again, that's another thing I need to bring up, because when I mention transfers, I need to bring up because we've got the open enrollment thing here now. We've got some changes that have been on the full effect of the laws that have been changed here 2 years ago are now coming into full effect with the school districts. And if a school has the school district can set their capacity for whatever they want. For basically saying, okay, well, we have open seats available at this school. Well, I mean, with Coco being, that they're one of the smaller schools in the state in certain terms of the numbers, and they do have the open seats. Kids can transfer in there, and they can do it, and they can do it without saying they're going there for athletic purposes. They can decide, okay, academic, we're going here. They've got the open seats. That's where they're going. So it's kind of like a different thing. So I just want to mention that because with the transfers and stuff like that, some people are going to see that, well, the transfers are going to happen. Well, they've always been happening here anyways. It's just now there's a little bit more flexibility of how that can be dealt with and stuff like that. So those, when Coco's saying, people are hearing Coco getting more transfers, well, yeah, it's because of some of this open enrollment stuff, and they're going, and some people are not too happy about it, but it's like, I keep reminding people, don't blame the High School Athletic Association for this. This is not their dealing. They can't do nothing totally. They can only do so much. You want to deal with something? Go talk to your state legislators. That's who you got to deal with.
Yeah, well said. Josh Wilson on the line, FloridaHSFootball.com, and noticing that they have Trinity Christian Academy, at least on the schedule that I was given.
Oh yeah,
on the 25th of August. That's a good one. Plus, they've got they're going to play Mainland this week, this year, and all that. They've got a good tough schedule there.
Finally getting Mainland. And I'm glad to see that Coco got Mainland on the schedule because, 2015 they had changed it because both of them went up to Ohio to play St. Edward, and last year they were actually supposed to play each other on the schedule. And then we had a nice, lovely thing called a hurricane show up that week, so that did not. So hopefully, no hurricanes this year. No hurricanes. We had 2 last year. No more let's not have any more.
It does wreak a little havoc with your schedule down there. Josh Wilson on the line, and so we kind of, again, as we went through this, pretty much you're hearing those usual suspects. So I always like to play the game. Who's kind of off the radar right now that people should know about that aren't getting much pub. Is there anybody out there that you say, hey, this team really could be a little sneaky given a transfer or two or whatever it may be?
Well, it's kind of a hard question right at the moment, to be honest with you. I mean, because it's really, again, you talk about the usual suspects, but until you start digging just a little bit deeper, beneath the surface to really see, because again, all the changes that have been taking place, it's kind of hard to say, oh, well, this team's going to really sneak up on people. Now, we could ask the same question again come August, and I might even have 2 or 3 teams, but I mean, it's really hard right now, given the fact that we've got the usual suspects right at this particular point. who could sneak up. I mean, I think if you want to say one team that I would say maybe could bounce back, or maybe two teams that could really bounce back and get better back into the national spotlight, you're going to say Miami Central, maybe Booker T. Washington, depending on a couple things. But Miami Central is the one I really think, if they can bounce back from what happened last year and be back in the contention of things, that would be a turnaround team. That would say right there in the national spotlight. That would be one team I would look for to see if they can do it, because that's kind of difficult to come back and bounce back like that. But if hey, teams have done it before.
And, the other thing is you can use that as a chip on your shoulder to make things work a little different ways. So it'll be real interesting. I'm sure that the next 2 months actually from here until December is a little busy. But you guys have a preview coming up. I think I saw something on the website. Tell us a little bit about what's in store.
We got the district and region previews. We're working on that, so we got that coming up. We'll have to go to the media days around the different parts of the state, and then we got some other things in the works. Can't say just yet what's going on, but once we get there, we'll have some announcements on the site over the summer. So some big things are in the works. That the ice is starting to break, as they say. That's what I will leave it there at that.
You don't get ice down there. Who you kidding? Well, Josh, we always appreciate your friendship and promoting us, and love what you do there. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at what the top 100 is going to look like. We still have about 5 or 6 weeks to go, but as the numbers come in there, you've got some teams there that are going to make some national noise this year, and it's always fun. So thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
Appreciate it, Jeff.
Taking a break, coming back with more. You're listening to High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field Turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass-playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, And for that extra Bigfoot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the debris inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover.com/football. Jeff Fisher back on High School Football America as we wrap things up here. I want to remind everyone that the expanded national rankings with our proprietary algorithm, the top 100 coming out around mid-July. We will make the exact date announcement later on this month, and over the next 30 days you will see us putting up previews of teams that have a good shot at being in the top 100. So make sure you come back to highschoolfootballamerica.com on a daily basis. Lots of stuff for you up on the website, state-by-state news. We'll have our rankings coming out, as I said, in mid-July. We'll also have previews of various states around the nation on there, and don't forget the Coach's Job Board, one of the most popular parts of highschoolfootballamerica.com. Still plenty of jobs open, coaches looking for coaches out there. It is the best high school football coaching job board in the country. It's searchable. Just put in whatever you want. If you want to put in offensive line coach who's a math teacher, you put in those keywords. It will show you everything that we have around the nation since we began it back in 2014. We've had over 5,000 job openings. If you have one and you're looking for someone on your staff, please feel free to email me at jobposting@highschoolfootballamerica.com. Make sure when we're away you follow us on Twitter. The handle for High School Football America is @Jeff Fisher Media. Also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/High School Football America. Follow us also on Instagram for our stadium project. Great photos of high school football stadiums from around the country. Our handle on Instagram is highschoolfootballamerica.com, and our YouTube channel, which will be getting a lot of video on it coming up as we get ready for the preseason, the fall camps here. You can check that out at youtube.com/HSFB America. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's show. We want to thank Josh Wilson for joining us from FloridaHSFootball.com, giving you great insight into the top teams in the state of Florida coming up for 2017. And we also want to thank all of our partners, beginning with Crossover. Get your game film broken down for you coaches right after you're done Friday night. It'll be there ready for you on Saturday. All you have to do is check out the demo. Go to highschoolfootballamerica.com, click on the banner ad. It'll take you to the demo page where you can sign up for a 5-minute free demo. You will not be disappointed with the way they break down your game film and then give you insights, great interactive reports that will allow you to see exactly what your upcoming opponent's tendencies are. And it's also a great self-scout tool as well. Check them out. Crossover with game.com/football for your free demo. Also brought to you tonight by Echo 1612. Get instant replay on your sidelines, coaches. You cannot believe what kind of a competitive edge you will have as a result of using Echo. And think of it this way. What if your opponent's using it? Then you're in trouble. You can show your players exactly what they did, make tomorrow's adjustments today by going to echo1612.com or reaching out to them through highschoolfootballamerica.com and clicking on their banner ad. Also brought to you by USA Today High School Sports, teaming up again in 2017 to give you great high school football coverage from around the nation and specifically from Southern California. Check them out at usatoday.hss.com. And brought to you by the Debris Inhibitor Razor from Southern Sport. The TDI Razor with a U, R-A-Z-U-R. Will keep those pesky rubber pellets from field turf out of your shoes and give you the great look of spatting without the high cost of tape. All you have to do is put in the code HSFA when you go to TDIRazor, RAZUR.com. You will get a discount on your order using HSFA. And brought to you by ScoreStream. When the season rolls around, make sure you have the app downloaded from Google Play or the iTunes Store. And when you get that, you're able to score along, let everybody around the nation know what your favorite team is doing in that specific game. And you can post videos and photos, and they'll be able to see all of that on High School Football America, which uses ScoreStream for all of its state-by-state scoreboards and for its national top 100. So make sure you check them out at ScoreStream.com. All right, that's going to do it for this week. We are going to take a couple of weeks off, and we will be back with you just before the middle part of the month when we unveil the National Top 100. For now, this is Jeff Fisher saying good night and good sports from Southern California. You've been listening to High School Football America.